All right, guys, our guest tonight is NXT star and former women's champion, Charlotte. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I cannot complain. We've got you on the line. Listen, wrestling fans get to watch you on NXT every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on the WWE Network, and now they get to see you live on the NXT tour, which is making a stop at the Tower Theater in Upper Darby on Thursday, May 14th and Friday, May 15th. How do you feel about being one of the key stars in NXT's first real tour of the United States, and do you feel any additional pressure being an ambassador for the NXT Divas?
Oh, wow. I'm honored. I could not be more proud of where NXT is today. Obviously, I'm solely a product of NXT. I didn't have any prior work, and I started at FCW before the Performance Center. You know, before we even were on the network, we were just, I think, UK, Sky Sports. I'm honored, and it's a big deal. NXT is going places, and I couldn't be more proud to be representing them in the female division right now, especially with all the buzz around us. It's amazing.
Joe?
The NXT Women's Division has been one of the best parts of the weekly program on the WWE Network. What do you think separates the Women's Division from the Divas Division, and what are your thoughts on the grassroots Give Divas a Chance movement?
I can't speak for the Divas on the main roster, but for the women down at NXT, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Dana Brooke, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, I've never met a bigger group of women who are just so passionate about what they do. And we just mold and gel together in the fact that Triple H hired Sarah Del Rey to work with us. And she fights for us every single day, and they trust us. They give us storylines, they give us time, and we just run with it. So I just think with all of those elements combined, that's why, we're taking off right now. And it's an exciting time for women's wrestling.
Well, you have stepped into the ring against some of the best women in the industry today. Who has pushed you the hardest in the ring thus far? And when you eventually get to the main roster, which diva are you looking forward to squaring off against the most?
Well, first I just want to say Natalya put me on the map. When I had my takeover match and I won the NXT Women's Championship, I really did not have that much experience. And she put me on the map. She brought out something in the character Charlotte that I didn't know I had, and I just ran with it. I can't say that, there's one specific girl that's harder than the other. Obviously, when I work Sasha Banks, she's the baddest. I mean, she's probably one of the best heels in the company today. So how I am with her is different than, Bayley. Bayley is every single person's best friend. Then, you have newcomer Becky Lynch. She's now the number one contender. You have Alexa Bliss, Dana Brooke. Carmella, I just think for Charlotte, she just tries to tell the best story with each character. I don't think there's one, person that, obviously, Natty and Sasha and me and Bayley have had, these takeover matches, and there was a fatal four-way. But I like working with everybody. So I can't just say there's one person. And when I get on the main roster, I would really like a chance to have one more go with Natty since it's 1-1. I beat her at TakeOver. She beat me on Raw. So I think we need to even, it's 1-for-1. So that's who I would look forward to working.
Yeah, we definitely need a rubber match. Joe?
Definitely. You've earned a lot of high praise and awards in the early stages of your career. What's it like being named Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Rookie of the Year for 2014, and how does it feel being the longest reigning women's champion in NXT history?
Well, I'm just so honored. For me, it's more or less, I'm a generation kid, and being able to carry on my dad's legacy and represent the Flair name, for me, that's what it's all about. I want to work hard, and especially for the women that I work with. I'm just honored, and I'm just shocked, and I just want to keep getting better. I want to keep, outdoing every other match I've ever had, and I had no idea about the Rookie of the Year until someone, actually I think it was Joe who's on the other line, said, "Hey, you won Rookie of the Year," and then my dad being in it, I'm just honored. I'm like blown away by everything, but all the credit has to do with the group of women and Sarah Del Rey and Triple H, so I'm just excited for the future.
Well, listen, while you have dominated in NXT, you will have a clean slate when you eventually make the jump to the main roster. What are your ultimate goals in the WWE, and how high do you see your ceiling in the Divas division?
Sky's the limit. I want to main event a pay-per-view. I want to be Divas champion. And gosh, I don't know, because when I started, I didn't know I'd be where I am today. So, I don't know. I want to see where my hard work takes me, but I want to main event Raw. I want to main event a pay-per-view, and I want to be the Divas champion. And I want to see the entire NXT female roster on Raw at one point.
Joe?
Yeah, I think we all do. You haven't been in the wrestling industry for very long, but you've already made a big impact in WWE. How has being the daughter of legend Ric Flair influenced your in-ring style? And is there a story behind how you came up with the figure 8 variation on the figure 4?
Well, when I first started, obviously, because I was, just learning how to lock up and hit the ropes, but I really stayed away from anything that my dad did. I didn't do the figure 4. I didn't do chops. I didn't woo. And then when I had my match with Natty was when I started to incorporate some of my dad's, signature moveset. And with the figure 8, actually, I got to give him a little shout out. Simon Gotch from the Vlad Villains helped me come up with the figure 8. And he was like, "Hey, it's twice as good as your dad." And we were just playing around with it. So really, it's just
awesome.
a combination of everyone at school helping me. It's kind of like the figure 4 headlock that I do. Sarah Del Rey actually was one that helped me put the snapmare with it, where I flip over the person. And I just want to take his moveset and kind of add my own twist to it. And it's gradually coming along. So, yeah. So my coaches and my coworkers.
You've said in the past you're trying to carve a name for yourself in the wrestling industry, not trying to be your dad. You're trying to be your own person, and then that's good. That makes you very special to a lot of wrestling fans. With that said, has it been difficult working in the business as Ric Flair's daughter? And how has your relation to a legend like Ric Flair impacted the expectations for your career?
It was very hard in the beginning because any generation kid, I feel like, has a hard time, but because I didn't come from a wrestling background, I felt the pressure where, like, well, she's not good. She has no personality. She's this. She's just Flair's daughter. But I knew if people would just be patient and give me time. Literally, my dad I've been in sports since I could walk. So I knew once I could figure out the psychology and understand, what's important within the match and, my character, that once I got comfortable within Charlotte, I could, I think being able to show people how athletic I am, that's what more gravitates them to me now than, obviously it's cool because I'm, Ric Flair's daughter, but I think my athleticism adds a lot to Charlotte instead of just being Charlotte, the daughter of the Nature Boy. But now that I'm comfortable in my own skin, I have no problem like going out there and wooing, 75 times because this is my dad's the best wrestler of all time in my eyes, but my dad wasn't, known for his leapfrogs, or he was known for being the dirtiest player in the game. So it's been a journey figuring out who Charlotte is while incorporating him just not being his daughter.
Joe, final question?
WWE and NXT fans have been waiting for you to make your debut on the main roster. With the success of other NXT superstars in the main roster, what are your hopes for when you're finally called up? And how does it feel being hopefully on the verge of making your debut?
When I do debut, I just want to run with it. I don't want anything to hold me back, and I just want to, shine and not be timid, scared, and go out there. And, NXT is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So, but, it still doesn't have the fan base that, the WWE universe has. So I'm just looking forward to taking my NXT fan base or NXT's, all of our, as a group, collective fan base with me to the main roster and showing what I can do on a larger scale. That's what I'm, most excited about. And then obviously, seeing Paige up there and Emma and Summer Rae, who, all came from NXT, and working with them again. I'm excited about that.
A huge thanks to Charlotte for coming on the show. We really appreciate your time. Catch her stealing the show on NXT every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on the WWE Network, and on Thursday, May 14th, Friday, May 15th at the Tower Theater in Upper Darby. Tell the fans how they can support you.
Well, they can follow me on Twitter at Miss Charlotte WWE or Instagram Charlotte WWE. And remember, if you're going to do it with Flair. Woo!
Woo! Thank you for coming on the show. Good luck. We know you don't need luck, but we can't wait to see you on the main roster.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.